So a man we know and love, Howard Feldman, is a man of many talents, being a radio host, keynote speaker, and a brilliant one at that, business strategist and published author of 2 books, now 3. His extensive experience makes him the perfect person to teach us the immense superpower of positivity. I think what we live off in this studio, and he joins Expresso to share some of these insights, which can be found in his latest offering. I love this. Smile, damn it, smile. Damn it, that's what I'm going to say to you all day. Howard, welcome to the show, man. We love having you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of it. I mean, you've chosen to build your entire focus now around the power of positivity, smiling. And we know that that's a physical action that starts a positive, maybe chain reaction in the body. But how do you believe that harnessing the power of the superhuman power of positivity can change people's lives?
All right, so first of all, we get to choose. We get to choose every single day what kind of attitude we're going to have. When you walk into the studio, you can feel that most people here have felt have chosen to be positive. There's an energy, there's a vibe. So every day we get up and we choose it. When we sit in the dark, when there's power shedding or load shedding, we can choose to be as miserable as we have chosen to be as South Africans, but we can also choose to say, you know what, this will pass. We still live in a vibrant democracy. We've got freedom of speech. We've got amazing things. Yes, things are wrong. So it doesn't mean denying the reality. It doesn't mean denying that you're sitting in the dark, but it also means it's a way to choose perspective. So it's really all about perspective. It's all about knowing who we are and knowing how we can react to certain situations.
I love the fact that you use the word choice, and I think for a lot of us, the fact that we don't feel like we have a choice and we are helpless to deal with these situations seems to be often where that negativity stems from. I'm a ridiculously positive person and live on faith, and I've fallen down many times because of that, but there is something to be said for the realists, the pessimists out there, for someone who struggles to make the choice to be positive, who isn't wired like I'm wired. What do you say? And there are many people who are very realistic and quite pessimistic about life, and you can understand that. What do you say to people like that? How do they begin to shift into a positive mindset?
So I think the sad thing about pessimists is that at some point they're going to be right. But if you take a pessimist to the extreme, you never leave your house, because somebody is going to get knocked over by a car, and somebody is going to catch a cold from touching an escalator. There are things that are going to happen. Pessimists are always right, but they also don't live their life. So they spend their life actually very, very afraid, and it's a very sad way to live. Rather to choose to understand where that negativity comes from. And there's a fantastic story that I talk about in the book. It's attributed to Sigmund Freud. We're not really sure if it came from him. But a guy, he's walking along a street in Vienna. It's dark, it's night. There is a light on. They didn't have load shedding. and he sees his friend looking for something underneath a street lamp. And he says to his friend, "What are you looking for?" And his friend says, "I've lost my gold watch." And he says, "Well, let me help you find it." And he looks and he looks and he looks and he can't find it. And eventually says to his friend, let's retrace your footsteps and let's see that you actually did lose it here, because we can't find it. And his friend says, "No, I didn't lose it here." So he says, "So why are we looking here?" And he says, "Because it's a light. I'll never find it in the dark over there where I lost it." And of course, it's a brilliant story. It's very, very, it's smart in that it says to us, the message that it says to us is sometimes we've got to go into those dark places. We've got to actually understand what it is that is causing us to be pessimist. What is that fear that we live with that is stopping us from fulfilling our dreams, from going out and being happy, from thinking that things can get better once you've fallen down. Go into those dark places, understand where that comes from, bring it to the light, and then it'll never scare you again.
I absolutely love that, and I think a lot of people, they are the one barrier standing in the way of their own success, or their own next big step or shift in their own lives. How have you been able to apply this in your own life? It's one thing being able to preach this, but it becomes authentic when you've been able to apply it, and clearly you have.
Well, you know, I've had life experiences that haven't been positive. I've closed a business that was a very successful business. It was a very hard time in my life. I had 2, unfortunately, South African scenarios where I was attacked twice within 3 months. It became what they call a complex trauma, and I had to go through that. And going through it, it doesn't mean you deny it. In fact, you allow yourself to go through it. And you actually say to, in fact, when I was going for some post-traumatic stress counseling afterwards, I said, I want to go on this journey. I actually choose to go through this. I'm not going to deny it. Exactly. Take it back, understand what it did to me and how I can emerge a little bit stronger from that.
Buddy, this roundtable was brought in here to have discussions just like this.
That's awesome.
My brother, thank you so much for joining us. We absolutely love the message that you're sending into the world. I could say it in a million words, or I could say it in just two. Smile, damn it. And that's what you need to do. Embrace your life, embrace positivity, and you can embrace this book. Smile, Damn It is available from all leading online and physical bookstores. Go and get it.